Okay, well, this is my first time recording from my phone, so hopefully, I'm sure it's better than the Wi-Fi spottiness that we get at home. So, greetings from Quebec City. I am at the Star Diamond Mastermind the next couple of days, so I'm really excited about that. But I didn't want to miss our call. I know Brenda did such a great job last week sharing. I was so grateful that she hopped on. I actually pulled up her notes here. Um, Hopefully, you guys were able to catch the recording of that if you didn't get it live. And oh, there they are. There they are. But I wanted to, well, one, say we have 10 days left in the month. So I always think, I know a lot of us are living life a million miles an hour. And if you're like me, like, woo, here we are somehow, the last third of the month. But that's still plenty of time to make some things happen. So regardless of what the month has looked like so far, we have 10 days left starting today. And there's there's lots of good things happening. So I did ask Amy and Lisa if they'd be willing to hop on. I don't know if they'll hop on or not, but I wanted them to share what they're doing. Currently, both of them, I think, are tied for the top recruiter spot so far on the team. Lisa Winters and Amy Booker, the main the main leaders out there on the East Coast. But I did hear back from Amy just earlier. She said what she's doing, because I think these calls are great for like what's working right now and all that. What she's doing is lots of posting, lots of follow up. She said that she's messaging people who viewed her stories. So this is not like rocket science, but it's just a matter of doing, especially for us that you've grown a large team and you have a lot of people and you're in communication with a lot of people. And so sometimes the actual prospecting piece can sometimes fall a little bit more to the wayside. And she said she was getting back to serious IPA again. She's bringing out her old journals and following back up with people that she's chatted with for years, seeing if now is the time. So I love that little blurb. I actually wrote it down so I can share it with you guys. But let's kick off with some wins. The wins, some learns. If you did a post audit, unmute and let's hear how things are going.
Okay, well, I haven't done a post audit, but I will look back and do that. So I've added 5, and the best news of all is that I'm working with 3 level ones that have told me they want the business, and one of them signed someone, one of them made a post, and the other one is still kind of on the fence, but she keeps asking me questions. So I feel like that's a huge win because whereas I'm always a high recruiter, I'm not always the highest in conversion. So I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. What are you doing? Is there anything that you're doing differently, or these are self starters?
Um, well, no, there's actually all 3 of them have been customers of mine for years. And one of them told me at my diamond party in June or May of 24, she came to my diamond party. She had been in It Works and she told me that she had been praying about doing the business because she had been out of It Works for a long time. But she's had a lot of health issues. Although she's type 1 diabetic, she's had a kidney transplant. Her doctor has approved all the products except for during the time when she was going through surgeries. So to me, that's huge because she lives in she's the only one who lives in my area. And I've known her for 20 years. Um, but people know how sick she's been because when she had the kidney transplant, like that was mass, like everybody knows that in my area, pretty much people who know her. And for them to see that her doctor had approved the products is amazing. And she came to my event that I had this past Tuesday. So like a year and a half, okay, is when she told me. And she hadn't done anything, but she just kept saying she was praying and she needed to make sure she was healthy and she was ready to go. So she came to my event this last Saturday and she told me that she finally is ready and she has a why. And her and her
Mm,
husband, he's in ministry. They just left their church and they're not sure what the Lord's going to have for them. But she said, if I could make enough to pay our house payment so my husband wouldn't have that stress and have to work full time, he could go into full time ministry. And so she has this why behind it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like the thing with existing customers that decide to share is that they have belief. I feel like there's like, and it's not that someone can't right out of the gate start sharing,
Yeah.
but I think there's something to when people have belief in the products, they know they're good, they have that little tool in their tool bag, or that little verbiage to say like, hey, I've been on these products, or I've used these in the past, I'm getting restarted. I feel like there's just that little up level. So I love
Mhm.
that. Um, I feel like there was something else I was going to ask you. Um, did you ask them, are you more intentional this month about asking them, like if they'll make a post, or if they thought of friends that would do this, that kind of thing?
Yeah, for the other two, I definitely have been. And my this one, she just said, I'm just not ready to post yet. I feel like I have enough contacts that I can talk to people to get that. I mean, she's like, I'm gonna get that $300 bonus this month. So she's added one, and so two more, but the other two, yes, they're the one is made a post and she's asking people. She actually has been on my team for probably 5 years. And she showed up at my event that was in Georgia on Saturday because we had two events back to back. She drove 3 hours to come to my event in Georgia when Yvette was there. And she said, I just need encouragement. Like, I wanted to be in your space. Like, I've only met her once in person, and that was 5 years ago. And she said, I'm a little discouraged because I've asked like all my people who would buy dirt from me, and they've all told me no. And
How
I was
many people was that?
She said eight.
Okay.
And I'm like, listen, just keep asking.
Yeah.
Just keep asking because there are people out there. Maybe right now isn't the right time. I don't want her to get discouraged, but she's messaging me. She was on that call last night, the Monday night call. And then Madison every other Monday is doing a new ambassador training type thing for our team. She was on that.
Oh, good.
I'm like, well, she's showing up.
Yeah.
That's more than most people do.
Yeah. The coachable people we can work with,
Yeah.
100%. Well, and if she knows that those 8 people may come back around as they see her consistent,
Yeah.
but we've noticed this about even our local father son camp. Like 99% of the people that come to that are not local, even people from our local church. Which granted, it is harvest time, like there's maybe reasons, and some of the people locally maybe, feel like they can go shoot guns whenever they want or whatever. But I think it just go like, even the kids were like, why is this not well attended? Like there's 500 fathers and sons, but like most are not from around here. So odd. But I think it just, and same with our Plexus teams. I would say for most of us, it's a similar story. And I know sometimes it's hard when we have the people in our mind like, oh my word, they would be so good at this, or oh my goodness, that discouraged teammate, like if they would just show up to events that we're hosting, like they would be so encouraged. And so sometimes it's easier to look at who's not there and be sad that they're not there, or we can look at, you know, there's a whole wide world out there. And when I leave my house and like go to Chicago and go to the airport, I'm like, the world is wide. There's still lots and lots of people who will do this. But
Yeah.
Angie, the second thing that I heard you say, so if you're just hopping on, number one thing, so Angie has 3 new people that are sharing this month. And we talked, so one thing that I pulled out of what she said is that they have belief because they've actually been long time customers or have restarted. And then the second thing is that you said events. That was what I was pulling out from what you said. They came to an event. And I know we have been preaching this for a long time, and it doesn't, like, honestly, like if your team is not local, it's not that you have to do in-person events all the time only, but there is something so significant about in person. And I think it's that willingness to expend the energy and like the love it takes, the energy and um there's the vision, like to be willing to do that. But I really feel like it does create those connections. It creates culture. It encourages people. It like vision casts for them in a way that it's maybe impossible to do over text message. And I would say that's how Addie is building her team also. It's like the in-person events, even more so than online. So I think that goes without saying, like, I think it is becoming a culture on our team in general that the people that are having momentum are consistently hosting events. So anyways, 2 things, belief and events. Love that. Okay, who else? Wins, learns, or you want to share your post audit to be vulnerable and share your
How far should we go back on the post audit? I don't, you go back
Mm, a week is fine, I think.
okay. Okay.
I can share. I did my post audit for the week. I had 15 products, 7 personal engagement type posts, and then 5 business posts basically. So I'm heavy in the product, but there used to be no business posts. So that's, that's coming along. My stories are there too though, but um I've been doing like a week. I'm so far away from my team. So like I about once a week or once a month I come back and I stack a whole bunch of events, and those have been very successful.
Mhm.
Um I am doing an event, a virtual event a week at least. And that's just team wide. That's not someone personally having their own, because those happen too. So I feel like that's been really good. I have girls doing their own events back home. So, and they're the ones that are growing, they're
Mhm.
doing it. They literally, um, I could not be there this week, but I went ahead and scheduled this one because I wanted something to try to pull a lot of my own personal people in there, my own level ones, that kind of thing. I've been doing these crazy things that just pull, like Angie's talking about someone that's just kind of been back in the, back there, not really doing anything, just waiting for that product to work and like getting brave enough. So I've thrown a really couple of like spontaneous little challenges out. And I did it over the weekend. We did a selfie Saturday. I was like, post your selfie Saturday. I bought this little pretty cup, and I was like, do it. And it blew me away who did it. It wasn't like the whole team did it, because you know how Saturdays are. They don't always see things, they're out and
Mhm.
about. I had some do it after the fact. Like I think it was Sunday when I came through. But I was like, wow, like that spawned literally some posts that nobody, it's like from people that have never posted before.
So they
So
have to post it, not just in your
uh-huh,
chat?
they did. No, they had to post it on their timeline and tag their sponsor.
Oh,
And
fun.
so I was like thrilled to see what happened with that. And then we started having conversations. So um, I have two. I have a level 1 that's going silver. I'm doing a senior silver that I'm going to do an event for this weekend. That was very spontaneous. We had planned, and I'm doing another one for her in 2 weeks. I'm back in 2 weeks doing another one for her. And so um, but I've got Rhonda Kirkham that is just went gold, and her daughter are like, they're going crazy. So doing their own events and doing their things, and the posting is really good. Um, just excited for them all the way around. Just seeing a lot of fires, little fires, big fires going
Mhm.
on there. So,
Oh, that's awesome. So
yeah.
when they host events, what are they doing exactly? Just like a basic sip and see, or are they doing?
They are, yeah. They had one Saturday, and Christy went 3 for 3. Like, I mean, they were messaging me because I was out and about. I don't remember where I was Saturday. We were at a football game in Murray, Kentucky, and they're blowing me up. They're like, Rhonda's like, she did it again first, and she's like, oh, she could get her third. No, we're not. And the next thing I know, she's like, oh, it happened. And I finally, it's one of those, I'm like, what are y'all doing? My phone is blowing up here. And so it was really good. So I feel like they've mastered that. They kind of let them come and go a little bit, and they are able to kind of do a real good one-on-one as they're working.
Mhm.
That's what they're doing. And we are kind of doing the same thing Thursday night. And then at 7:30, like the last hour, I'm going to talk about the business. And
Okay.
so I'm pulling people in for both sides of that is what we're doing. So um, I'm pretty excited about that. I think it'll
Is
be
it like an open house?
um,
It's kind
just
of
at
out of flow?
6:30 to 7:30, and then we're telling them to come if they want to learn how they can make a little extra money, or just understand the process period after they've sampled, like what it's about. So I'm hoping we pull some people in that haven't ever been to anything, and that might be really good. But again, I have a lot of people sharing, like just posting finally. They're just,
Mhm.
it's starting, and it's
Mhm.
that have been in for a while. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I feel like getting those people that are doing a little bit to an in-person can just like expedite the process so
Yes.
much faster. And I also think like for Rhonda, it's going to help her with retention. And that's on
Yes.
my brain hugely.
Yes.
Like with Addie's team, it's like we got to keep these
Yes.
people on the
Retention.
products, not just now that
Yes.
we got them in, we got to
Yes.
keep them on.
Yes.
So like
And
teaching them.
yeah. And we're in three-way conversations. Like
Okay.
I don't mess around with that anymore. We're in
Mhm.
three-way. I think Rhonda's getting more like she's in her own three ways with her people because she's got some level 2s and level 3s now. So she's got it. Like once they have it figured out. I went back though today. You posted, was it Alita's that video? So I just sent all the new people I could that I had messenger with. I had already sent a text message to several people today, so I didn't blow them new people up like that. But I went in and just said, hey, I'm sending this to every new customer. If you want to know how to make $300 plus get a Lululemon card for $150, worth $150, here it is. And so I just did that. I was like, whoa, that was just good timing for me today. And I had some minutes. I just sent it out. I just kept sending
Mhm.
it out. So I'm hoping that will prompt some more posts. And I just messaged Rhonda and someone else. And I said, send this to all your people. I didn't
Yes.
do all their people for them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Well, I do think that, just making sure no one's in the queue trying to get in. Okay. Yeah, I saw that again because Becky actually messaged me. She's like, where's she goes, the video I was using to send new people, like how to earn their $300. And I thought of that Alita video. I'm like, oh shoot, that's not pinned in the Ruby chat. We need to pin it because I know sometimes there's just different trends that float along. Like we'll try the GLP-1 stuff. And so, but if we can pin it in there, then we can go snag, like here's a video. And with Alita's system, I thought it would be good to kind of go back and review, like, is there any part of that work that we're not doing that we could work on? And then I was mainly just snagging it for the video. I actually forgot that there was her whole little system in there too. So I was like, well, I'll just forward it in. One thing to keep you guys, I mean, you guys are probably already doing this, but for the sake of the recording, the vendor events. This is on my brain because I have it in mind for Hannah and Addie to do because Hannah already does vendor events with sourdough bread. So they're already thinking, but I need to put that on their brain too, because as we launch into the holiday season, there's going to be lots of opportunity. And I know Becky's at like a week-long vendor event and she's doing it with her team. So I was hoping Mary would share a little bit, but maybe she'll pop back on. So I do think that is huge. Angie, you kind of paved the way for even the concept of like, it doesn't have to just be you doing it. Like you could initiate it and then basically pull team members in and be like, hey, can you take an afternoon, or hey, you want to take this one day? And it's helping Becky's team sign people. So I know they're connecting with a ton of people that way. So little mention there. And then I don't know if you guys saw my idea. I did a drawing for any of my customers that went and ordered the holiday collection. And I can send that over to you guys again, but if you want to see it. But I sent a project broadcast. I think I sent this also, but just like a basic project broadcast. I always try to throw that in the Ruby chat. So, you guys don't have to like go recreate your own thing. You can just like send it out to your team also. And then I did a follow up and just said, hey, did you order it? And I had a screenshot of the little thing I threw in my stories. Like, if you order this, you get entered into my mug giveaway. So anyways, that's been fun. And people are messaging me back, which to me is always a win on project broadcast. Cause I mean, it's fine if people are just like, oh, info, like they're just like seeing it and like, okay, yeah, I need to order that. But I do like to get replies back on project broadcast and just hear from customers. Wide customer base, and it's nice to hear from them. Okay, my little tips would be with like what's working right now. This is not a win or a learn necessarily, but something that's working right now is to ride with new customers and then ride with new shares. That's what I'm personally focusing on, is like all the people I signed last month, really, trying to stay in contact with them to, help them tweak, help them start. And I feel like so many of you are great at like a lot of conversation with your customers, and then you can like splice in, hey, you want to share? Hey, I'm sending this to all new customers if you want to learn how to make $300, and like blitzing out the videos. So, and then like with Addie and Hannah and Elena and just different people on that new team growing, like in the trenches, PLLP, and working with them on that. But one thing I was just refreshing my brain about is the Post-it note system. So if you guys have new shares or even old shares and you're trying to help them re-rank and do that kind of thing, getting them to do the Post-it notes, I feel like is a visual, a visual view, because it's crazy to me how many people like they don't look at their back office, they don't print off any reports, and they don't really have anything like tangible where they can like see their people, see their team. And I know it's probably really basic for us, but I taught Addie to do that, and then I was realizing that I forgot to tell Hannah. Oh, Becky, totally fine, girl. Yeah, I think they're at the vendor event still, so she'll hop on, or she'll get the recording. And maybe she'll share with us next week what she learned from her vendor event. So anyways, post-it note system. And then I love the campaign idea. And I know I was talking about this last week, but like do a little campaign and like blitz through your customers and check in with them, see if they would make a post, make these little campaigns, because it does kind of like keep it game-like and where you can like check in or see if they'll, nudge them a little bit to see if they'll take a little action. So I love the culture, Lisa, that you're creating with like the selfie Saturdays / Sunday. I may like throw that in my customer chat, like Blitzy next 48 hours and just see who does it, So I think it's always worth giving those things a try. And also establishing it, like if your people can get in the mode of like, oh, Lisa does this fun giveaway on Saturdays, then probably more of them will do it, or they'll do it again because they know you're going to do it again.
So are you saying like, I was actually, Becky was messaging me, so I was trying to listen to that so I could add anything, and then I saw she popped in there. Because I've been chatting with her a lot about her event. And I just want to, one question that I have for you, Lisa, are you doing like, if they post, then like you do the selfie Saturday kind of type thing, then are you doing a drawing? Is that what you guys were saying?
Yeah.
And just give a little something away and then you just have them tag you or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah. They had to tag their sponsor, whoever that was. And then they were taking pictures and then throwing it in the chat so that they would know. And then others started hopping in. So that's kind of
that. That's a great idea.
I had to be very specific because I have people I'll say to do that. I have some older ladies, so they'll just put it in the chat and not post it on the timeline. So I got very specific this time. I'm like, tag your sponsor on your wall, on your Facebook wall, and then I sent example. So
yeah.
Can you throw that verbiage in the chat if you have it handy?
Yeah.
Probably. I might actually pre-schedule that on the team page.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing I was going to say is, as I've been chit-chatting with Becky a little bit, I'm so impressed because she's like, it's 10 days. She's doing an event that's 10 days. I'm like, dang, girl, but the pricing, I'm like, I'm waiting on her to respond. I'm like, is that indoor or is it outdoor? Because it was such a good price. I think she told me it was like $500 for 10 days total.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is probably right, because I looked at, we're on the fair board for the Tennessee State Fair here, and I looked at that for my other business 2 years ago because Doug's brother is in charge of all that, and it's about $500 or $600 for those 10 days.
Listen, I paid the last one we did in Nashville, and it was a good event. I mean, we did have a really great turnout. It was indoors. It was only 2 days. It was $1,300.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are really pricey.
And I was like, well, we're going to go for it this time and see. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I should look into one that's like South Tennessee. But 10 days, that's a lot to get people committed to. Like in my brain, I'm like, whew, that's a commitment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of like the Eric Worre recruit 20 and 30 days or whatever type concept.
Yeah.
Like a commitment, but cool that they're doing that, and it's inspiring.
Awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear how it turns out for them.
Yeah, same. Yeah, same. Brandy, do you have anything? We were kind of just going over wins, learns, post audit, or whatever you want to say. Red dot. I know you guys have been busy.
I'm surviving. I've been in my busy season, I try to nook and cranny current customers because that's something that I can do. Like I have them. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 people order. It wasn't even, this was before the holiday line even come out. My very first customer, you would have met her. Her name was Paige. She came to my very first event.
Okay.
Ordered since that, like she stopped ordering probably 3 months after that event. I got her back on product. So that was exciting. And then I'm signing someone this evening too that I think I invited her to that first event and I've never gotten her to order. So just kind of going back through those people, but I've not been good at posting. I was hoping that I would be so much better at posting, but It's been crazy. We haven't had rain except for last weekend, and so it's just been a busy season. So I feel my learn is that I feel like I have failed my team a little bit as far as my leaders, but like not Lisa because she's self-sufficient. But some of my other girls, I'm like, okay, where are we at? So Lisa, I was going to tell you too, I am hoping that Natalie and Karen can come to your event. They're already customers, but I want Karen to bring this girl that she's been trying to sign up, and that would just help them with community because they don't really come to stuff. And with them being in Robinson, I'm like, maybe they need to meet more Robinson people like on the team. So
Yeah,
I'm
Mhm.
hoping that Natalie needs community. And so I'm hoping that will help her because we're all up here, and anyway,
Mhm.
so I'm hoping that Natalie and Karen can both come and bring that other girl that they've been talking to. And
We're
I'm
just
planning on being there. Like
you are going to be there?
I'm planning on it.
Awesome.
I have
Awesome.
a child in tow, but
That's
it'll
okay. Well, and even if I kind of split it up between that 6:30 and 7:30 because I just knew that's kind of how Rhonda and Chrissy do their things. They let them come and go, and that gave me some flexibility with some people I have there that I've been trying to sign up. So that allowed that, and then that last hour we'll just kind of like talk business. It'll depend on who's there and who's
Right.
staying, and and we may just still be sipping and seeing. I don't know. We're just going with it. So,
All right. That
yeah.
place is so cheap and so nice.
No, right?
Is this
Right?
the little cottage?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deb also said if we ever want to use her little office, we totally could.
Debbie.
Deb, Deb the midwife. So
I was going to invite, I have several people in Robinson, but we just did one in August down there. And I'm like, I don't want to if you guys do have a big turnout, I don't want to overwhelm you with a ton of current customers, because they need to do their own, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Elena's team, I'm like, y'all need to be doing these again.
maybe if they could get there and just see how Lisa runs it.
Well,
Just
I thought about that
as
for
an example.
specifically Emily, because like Elena knows she's
Mhm.
but Emily's pretty timid. So, and yeah, Natalie and Emily both very timid. They do what you tell them to do, but they are very timid about it.
Well, and maybe they can meet because I'm not always, obviously in the winter months, I don't feel as free to just schedule things like multiple times a month, like
Right.
I do, because I can't get stranded, up there,
Mhm.
and so maybe that might be really good for them to pair up with Rhonda. They could,
Yeah.
they could kind of do things because they're just kind of doing their thing,
I've done a few events with Sideline Sisters, and it gives it more of a authentic feel because then people don't think that, well, you're just here to get my sale. It's like, no, like we're all here helping each other. Like I love coming on Sideline Sister events for that reason.
I sometimes feel like Sidelines can like speak into
Yeah.
and in a way that like the sponsor can't always, or they can, but it's maybe received in a different way, or
Right.
it's just a little more, you can be hardcore and not worry about how they perceive it. Here's another idea too, is like, Lisa, maybe on an off week when you're not coming up, like in the next, I don't even know, 6 weeks-ish, maybe on a week when you're not there, I could host something and we could just see how many people, like we could make it like a goal to see how many people we could get there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or it could be a week that you're there too, and it doesn't have to be.
I think,
But
yeah,
the thought.
I'm already pretty locked. I'm pretty locked in the rest of the time. I'm up for an event on the 7th, and then I'm coming back home, I think, on the 8th. I don't think I'm staying up there unless something comes up. I just don't feel like I'm doing that because I'll be back up there a couple times for the holidays. But actually, I'm not doing that. I think I have myself in trouble. Thank you for this conversation because I think I said yes No, no, no. I think it's on the 1st. So I'm good. I have an event here on the 1st. That's what it is. And then the 7th, I'm back there. So
Okay.
I'm like back to back weekends. Like I've got that scheduled out quite a bit.
Okay.
So
Well, keep it in mind too, because
yeah.
I mean, I always feel like some of the people that can't come Saturday could come on a Thursday night or something.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, that kind of thing too.
I
And
went to Christie's too. We had soccer games that day.
Yeah.
But I'm close to her. Like we live
Yeah.
maybe 2 miles apart.
And she's building quite a
know
little
her.
team
Like,
there. She's
never met
building. Yeah.
who is it?
Christy Parashow.
Mhm.
We live, she moved into my best friend's house,
Okay.
but I
On
don't,
a different team?
yeah, crazy.
Okay.
But I wanted to
I did.
so I could meet her, but we had soccer tournaments. So it was like, well,
Did I tried to glance at where her people are from? I think there was at least one or two her new people from Martinsville.
Natalie.
Yes.
Okay, she's a good one. I don't know her super well, but we're all related to the same people. Her niece is married to Christian, but they're a really nice family. Christian Kokenauer. So like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
we're to the same relation, if that makes sense. But they're
Yeah.
a really good family. So that's and if she shared, that would be some good quality people.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know.
a message
Yeah, I
you
don't know.
like Natalie come up. I was like, Natalie Young is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And
I'm
she's
glad you told me that. I'm glad you told me that. I'll be on that.
yeah, she's
Be
because
working
she's college daughters. One just had a baby not very long ago. So yeah, they would be good.
That's what's happening with these level 3s a little bit. Like it's just I'm not necessarily getting that connection. So I hope they bring them. I hope they
Well, I
get
need
them to that event.
so that I can work with her on these local people.
Mhm. Yeah, because I think
I would
it's
her. And I will praise you because I know that like you have built Rhonda up to be very self-sufficient. And I know that before Megan's event, it was kind of like I wasn't sure where her heart was. And I don't know that she was either because she would
Mhm.
message me things, asking questions. And I was like, yeah, well, okay. But after that event at Justin and Megan's, I also got a message from her. And it was like that event changed everything for me. So and her drive has just been so that's been really exciting.
Yeah, it has been. She's awesome. Yeah. I'm
Yes.
so excited for them. Yeah, and it's really not it's a little weird not to have to, you know, spoon feed or anything like that, And
Those
they're
are the
really
times when you're
yeah.
like, here's this, and they
Mhm.
just go do it.
Yeah.
Those are the goals.
They're
That's the
so
goal.
yes. And it's so amazing to have people that like they know where they stand, even though I'm like, do you know where you stand? They know
Right.
where they stand,
Mhm.
and we had a little glitch with one of Christie's, and I was like, we didn't get 100 PV in on that Saturday. It was 97, and I thought I promoted she had got the Lululemon card because I didn't even I didn't see that, and so she's like, yeah, I know, and so she's got somebody coming Thursday that probably will sign, so we'll be good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think we just have to keep focusing on helping people earn the gift card, go silver, helping people double earn it if they've already done it, keeping eyeballs on Icon. I went back through, I'm such a dork, but went back through the Leaders Retreat contest details and I was just kind of earmarking things, which I know we all know this, but there's a lot of credits to be gained from retention. And so I think we need to keep talking the retention game. I sent Addie, actually the OG Emily Gibson, how to follow up in the first 30 days. I love that because it's so simple and it teaches them exactly what to say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And it kind of like helps to have the conversation before the detox hits or before, you know what I mean? So, and retention is based off of 60-day. Like we get credits on their 2-month, so their commissionable months following enrollment. So it's actually 90-day focus, but we need to be encouraging our people and also doing this ourselves to go back to any level 1 retail or VIP customer that we've enrolled since July 1st. So follow back up on those people. And then And the level ones,
Since July 1st?
yeah. Remember, because we were getting we came out of convention knowing that we're going to get retention credits. But if they have 150 PV or more, we get 50 credits on those peeps. So I mean, that's a huge way of earning credits for contests. And then if they have like 100 to 149, it's like 25. But then we get paid on level 2s as well. So, and then personal rank advancement, which I feel like if you can comb through and like get your people for the retention piece, and then comb through and get another group of people for the rank advancement, people get credits for ranking up, obviously. 100 credits for going silver, 150 for senior silver, 200 for gold, and so on and so forth. And so I think the question is, who can I help rank up? So going in your back office or taking your list of people, and looking at that and messaging them like, hey, where are you at? Last 10 days of the month, we can totally make some things happen. And I think a lot of times our non-self-starters, which is like 99% of people on our team, and even if they are a self-starter, they still benefit from us being in their inbox, being like, hey, I'm here to help you. You know me, always, having ideas. And then also looking at who can re-rank. That was a really key piece as well, because like we all have those people and Plexus is in their back pocket. And I was just praying yesterday also that God would just show me who is coming back. And because there are people that will come back. And sometimes we have to ask them first, and other times maybe they'll just come back on their own. But I think it's worth a re-ask. So then for re-ranking, they also get credits, and there's consistency credits. So there's the people that are like below their rank currently, right? And that we can help boost them up. And then there's people that are in that no man's land where it's not a rank up month for them, but they can get a consistency credit, which I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I was going back through this and like, oh yeah, I need to talk to different people. So it was reminding me about the different pockets of people to be working through. And when you're at that senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, emerald, diamond phase, whatever stage you're in, like there's different pockets of people. It's not just all the new recruitment, right? So it's like that expansion of the things that we need to be doing. And like we're growing in, as our team's growing, we're what is that? I'm looking for the word, but I can't find it. Anyways, kind of an abundance mindset of expanding. Like it's like when we're moms, like when we go from one baby to two babies, like it expands. Our family expands, but also our skills expand in proportion to like the needs, right? Okay, and then it talks about icon. Once you get icon credits yourself, obviously if you achieve it or when you achieve it, excuse me. And then for level 1s and level 2s, you get credits for people on your team achieving icon. And you actually don't have to personally have icon yet to get credit for people that are earning it on your team. So I thought that was interesting. So, okay, what else?
And so I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how people who upgrade, they get 30 days. Well, they get the rest of the month to get double credits. So I feel like we always have this little bit of an issue. If somebody upgrades and it's not the beginning of the month, they're not going to get 30 days of double credits. So
That was my daughter-in-law last month.
I
The very
know.
last day of the month, she got double credits.
One day.
But she also got double BBBs. Like that was a blessing to them. And
Yeah.
I never want to wait. Honestly,
I
never wanna wait.
know.
I wish they would change that. I did ask Blake about that. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you. What was your question exactly?
No, I was just like, I'm thinking because my one girl just added someone. And then my next two, I'm like, "Ugh," I'm trying to push them to get their people. But then I know if they're not going to get like double credits
The full month.
full time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can vision cast beyond going silver and just be like, hey, you
I know.
actually only need 11 people to I think it's, what is it, 150? Is that the right numbers? 11 people with 150 PV or more. If they don't have 150 PV, how many does it take? 13?
Oh, I think it takes more than that.
Okay.
You would only get, if they don't have 150 PV, you would get 50 credits versus 100 credits.
Yeah. Well, regardless, if I mean, they'll be well on their way, even if they
Yeah.
get some without and some with. Um, that motivates, like Addie is highly motivated because her credits are looking amazing. She's like over halfway.
Yay!
At this point, yeah, with her credits, even though she missed out on those the whole month, right? Of not that she missed out, but her sister didn't upgrade till the first. I was glad that it kind of worked out that way. So she didn't get credit for her husband's account on the last day of the month, but she's getting double the credits on all these people. We've kind of run into kind of a rookie mistake where some of these people are signing up with less than 100 PV. But I'm like, well, or like this one lady at her event was like, I want collagen, greens, and hydrate. And she was like not budging. I was like, Addie was like, oh my word. She was like, she goes, I was watching you handle that lady's questions. And she was like, yeah, I can't do the slim. Nope. It has polydextrose in it. It's super bad for you. And like talking to Emma was like, I have an article. I'll pull it up for you. And, of course she's overweight and, I think not that healthy, but then she was, but she was very adamant that that's what she wanted in her combo. And she ended up ordering. Also, the lady doesn't have any sort of credit card or debit card or anything. They pay cash for everything. So if she has to order anything online, she has to go to like Walmart and get a Visa card. So it's like, oh my word, this is interesting. But then her order was like 97 PV. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. She was a lot of work to get her signed up, but she knew what she wanted, at least when she showed up. So Hannah's going to need more people actually, because some of her people weren't quite 100 PV. Anyways,
Have you guys
it is a bummer.
have you guys ever run into people that like they want to get everything muscle tested? Like they take the products and somebody like runs it to see if it works with their body.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a girl that I have talked to for I don't know, like 5+ years. Gave her samples years ago. She never even tried them because she's like, well, my whatever said that they wouldn't respond well with my body. And whereas I love her, she's at least 100, if not more pounds overweight. And I'm like, well, what are you willing to risk if like nothing else seems to be work? You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to gently like talk to someone about that because now she's taking the samples again and she's going to have them retested to see if it works with her body. And I'm like,
Is she local to you?
Yeah.
Like, have her send her with a bunch of products to just say, which ones, ask your doctor, which ones are going to be compatible for you. Because I do have people do that and they're like, oh, the ProBio 5 tested really well for me, this, that, and the other. But the weird thing about the muscle testing is like when we went to Justin's friend, chiropractor guy, he was having us do different supplements every single week, like different things. And so I was like, so then you have this arsenal of 50 different products and every week he's telling you certain things which I don't really understand the science behind it. I'm sure there's some validity to it, but part of me is just like, So I feel like Brandy, you have something to say about that. You just look like you have a thought.
My personal experience with it, and I love my doctor who was doing this to me. I really loved her perspective on things, but she was someone that like she would test you, but a lot of times if you brought something else in, she wasn't really super interested in that because she couldn't sell it.
Oh.
And I was someone who was very oversupplemented by the same person, but she would do the muscle testing on me. I liked when she did it to my kids because a lot of time with kids, they can't tell you like, I don't know, this makes me feel weird or I don't feel better, like they can't really say. So that's where I feel like muscle testing is maybe a little bit more important, but like, kind of like what Megan's saying, like they're going to put you on it anyway and see how you react to it, even if the muscle testing isn't one way or the other, So it's like, I'm not a huge fan of it for adults because I'm like, I don't really know how successful it is. A little witchcrafty, which I like my witch doctors. I'm all about functional medicine and kind of care, but I feel like I was oversupplemented because of that. She would test me on it. My muscle test would be like, oh yeah, you respond really well. and then I'm on it. And now I'm like taking 32 supplements for some reason, you know, when I could have been taking a triplex.
Well, and I felt like the doctor that we were seeing, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's not going to hurt you." Because I was like, "Well, should I go ahead and stay on this multivitamin?" He's like, "Yeah, it's not going to hurt you, but it may not be like what your body needs right now, or something like that." So, Angie, it might be something where you could say, "Well, are you willing to just try it and kind of go through it experientially?" I mean, I understand the muscle testing piece of it, but and maybe go back to like what her health goals are and what her bathroom issues are. That's one thing I'm noticing with a lot of people's questions is they chime in the chats and they're like, "My lady has menopause issues or whatever. She has menopause symptoms and she wants to lose weight." And this is kind of just all across the board, which I understand when you have someone and you're like, but what do I recommend here? Because I do that sometimes too. But I do feel like the key, like people aren't asking the first questions, which is what's going on with their gut. If we don't know if they're constipated, having diarrhea, having belly bloat, indigestion, seasonal allergies, and sugar cravings, we really don't know a whole lot. So I feel like drilling down and sending the Candida chart, we need to just kind of drill that into people. And the other thing I told Hannah and Addie both, I said, as you guys are launching into checking on people if they got their products and things like that, don't be afraid to like step into the shoes of health coach and like advisor. And I felt like it took me a long time to like put that coat on. I don't know. It's a shift, but and maybe people don't feel qualified to do it, but they are more qualified than the person they're helping because they have their own product experience. They have access to lots of information. They have access to us. And so that thus makes them, qualified to at least
Rosie.
be good at asking questions. So anyways, if that helps you help your people too, it's like maybe they can learn to be that sooner than I did. Because I think it helps us be confident also to like recommend, help tweak, ask questions. Because we're learning obviously as we go. And so is every other, person that's working with people and their health, with their health.
Well, something else that we all know, like Lisa's probably so tired of me talking about this, but if she's 100 pounds overweight, what is she eating? Like, what are we even eating? And if you're eating freaking
Right.
fast food and processed meats and processed everything, why do you care what's in your multivitamin? Like it drives.
Guaranteed she is.
I know you're not holding pounds and eating protein and fiber. Like you're just not. Sorry.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like with this person, like I love her, but I'm like this doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she came to my meeting on Saturday. She showed up. She was like 30, 45 minutes late. She said, "I felt like there was spiritual warfare keeping me from getting here." But by golly, she showed up. And so we had like 30 people there. So she heard multiple people testifying about how these products have helped them.
Would she do the business? Sometimes people join for the business first. I mean, and they get started on products.
So this is what she said. She said, "I really need the income, but if I can't take the products, how can I promote how can I promote the business if I can't even take the products?" I'm like, she's already thinking I can't take them. But I mean,
I would call her or message her and be like, "Hey, I was just thinking and talking with a few friends, and like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, you start these products, and what if they actually end up really helping you? Because you heard testimony after testimony, like reference that event she was at, and like she has a whole network of people that could benefit from that. And I keep using this even in my messaging when I'm talking to new customers, like, hey, just FYI, statistically, 7 out of 10 people struggle with gut health issues and they don't know what to do about it. And it's honestly, it's our food. It's what people are eating 100%. But we know that they're not just going to make changes overnight. Most people are not going to go just radically change their diets.
right.
So we can help them. And I have like firsthand experience of people that have not changed their diets first. They've started products first, and then they start to change their taste buds, and then they don't want to eat the junk, and they don't need the pop and all the things. So that's just so fascinating to me.
Because I'll have people say, "Well, like I have a girl, she's a level 1 on my team right now. She went gold, and she's like, well, after the first 3 months, she had lost like 35 pounds, which is awesome. But then, she wasn't changing anything, even though she'd be like, well, I'm not really hungry, but I just find myself eating anyway." And I'm like, well, here's the thing is that you have to change something. And she's like, well, if it's just food, then I don't really need the products. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. Like, most people are not going to become carnivore or vegan or even eat healthy. Like, they're just not,
Mm-hmm.
period. I mean, I can't even get people to drink water. My husband's like, babe, you're not going to get people to go carnivore. They won't even drink water. I'm like, I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been chatting with different people recently and talking about food and with various symptoms that have resurfaced. And I'm like, well, it's if you're doing all the right things from a supplement standpoint, it's what you're eating. And then she tweaked a few things, and in a week, she's like, "Oh my word, I feel so much better." She's like, all I needed was um to cut back on certain things she was eating. And also, I think it's also the quantity. If we're realizing that we're like kind of overeating eggs, or we're overeating protein balls, or not getting enough, and you'll cover your ears because this is not carnivore, but getting enough like veggies, cruciferous things in our diet, or we're pulling munch on protein. Like I literally packed, Angie, thank you to you and Lori Bradford. I literally packed frozen little lamb balls and some strip steak and what else did I made some venison burgers, which I didn't even think about getting through customs coming to Canada. But they kind of gave me, they were nice, but like I had to go through a special line and things because this was not store-bought meat. And they were like, did this come from a farm? Not from a store? I'm like our woods and across the road in my dad's pasture. But they did let me through. I was praying that I was gonna have to dump all this high quality meat or else they were gonna enjoy it, I guess. But they let me through.
I find that when I travel, if it's frozen, and two, if I just like disclose it I'm like, hey, I have a bag of food in here, and they're like, okay, well just take it out and set it in the thing separately, then I just get right through. But if I forget and it's like in my bag, and then they're like, what's in here? They got to take it out.
Yeah.
Um, but it definitely has started some conversation. For sure.
Well, I mean, anymore, like the sourcing is so bad, which I'm not planning to eat in my hotel room the whole time. But I just was a little worried, like if their buffet breakfasts don't have anything I can eat, at least, I have something that I can do just to stay on plan
Real
currently.
quick, how'd you do your lamb balls? Because we just literally got a whole lamb came in today that we had ordered.
Oh yeah. So I did, don't laugh. I went out to the garden and picked fresh sage and rosemary, and I like chopped it real finely, and then added the Baja Gold sea salt. That sea salt is amazing, so good. And then what else? Cracked pepper. I did do like a flax egg, which I know that's not on carnivore plan, but just to kind of give it some volume.
What is it?
A flax egg. Have you ever used that?
Flax egg?
So instead of how when you make traditional meatballs you use like egg to
Mm-hmm.
hold it together, or just it kind of we usually add like egg, some milk,
Oh,
and
but you
like
can't eat
oatmeal.
eggs, right?
No, I can't do eggs
Okay.
or any grains or anything like that. But so it helps the texture, especially with something so lean.
Yeah.
So I add it. So it's just like you blend up flax in a little grinder and add some water to it.
Oh, okay.
It reminded me of the whole meat glue thing. I forgot about that. Justin's like, because we had a lot of food left over from the first night at Father Son camps. There's a bunch of burgers. And he's like, he goes, I don't think you should eat any more of those, which I wasn't planning to, because I don't know where they're sourced from. He's like, they probably have meat glue in them, but I was highly sensitive to meat glue, and it's gluten based. And I think we just had to remember, when we're kind of like on the road, that not everything is as it should be. But kind of reminding me when I was making it yesterday. I was like, is this my like healthy meat glue? My flax egg. Hmm. Um, anyways, yeah, okay. Anything else, girls?
Well, just on the food thing, I feel like if we can just help people make some choices that are, a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
if we're getting down to one ingredient foods, that's a huge plus. And then I just recently started making for my kids like these pizzas, and
Oh yeah.
basically just do it with cheese, and then we put pepperoni on it, and we use those as wraps or whatever. and they're like, oh, it's kind of like a pizza roll or something, or you can put whatever meat and stuff you want on it. But if we can just get people to make one or two little changes
Mm-hmm.
here and there, not like become like some, nut person on food, but just like every now and again, just like get one better thing in your diet overall, it does help.
Well, and that's what I was chatting with the other day with a good friend. Is like she's just swapped what she was doing. She's like, I just sauteed some carrots, and she's like, whatever, put some seasoning on, saute them. She's like, I was munching on those, and then the next day it was like Brussels sprouts, and like that's all it took for her to shift. And I think maybe overeating eggs was a thing, but I think too is if we can help, yeah, exactly, not go. Not necessarily that they're going to go on carnivore or like on the plan that we're doing, but even leaning in that direction, because I think most women aren't eating enough protein. They're fueling from carbs. They're feeling awful, even just from a food standpoint. Their products are going to work better. And then I loved that post I stole from Eva Schmidt's team page. It was some girl's vulnerable story about how the product stopped working for her. And then she realized how she was relying on the products to basically do everything for her body. It's like she was eating a bunch of sugary things and be like, oh, Pink Drink will balance my blood sugar out. Eating, you know what I mean? Like all the things that are easy to kind of give yourself a pass instead of being like really intentional with what we're feeling with. And that's who told me that recently. Oh, Shoshana. We were talking about Lyme recently. I think I forwarded her message to some of you guys. But she was saying, like, when you're healing naturally, whether it's autoimmune or whatever, even post-COVID stuff, she said every bite matters, every thought matters, and all of our words matter. And I thought that was such a good reminder, even for ourselves, like as we're, kind of examples of health and wellness and promoting that to other people, helping people to make good choices and being intentional ourselves.
I always think it's interesting when you tell people when they're like, well, I usually have like 2 eggs and toast for breakfast. And you're like, do you know how much protein is in 2 eggs? Because you should be shooting for 30 grams. And that's like a whopping 12. People have no idea. They think that they're eating enough. And then when you start figuring out what they're eating, it's like you're eating enough carbs, you're eating enough fruit, you're eating enough of this, but your protein. And also, I love our protein shake and I drink it for breakfast often, but people have to be eating real protein. Like so many people are like, well, I had this protein bar, and it's like, you would have been better off eating a Snickers. Like, congratulations. You should have just went and ate a Snickers bar because most of them are so highly processed, highly sugared. There's no protein in them. Like these people, like you guys, because they've been sold a lie, and then it's really hard for them to kind of revert back. But I actually just saw, I don't remember if it was, I think Brandon was watching a YouTube on the riots, the No Kings riots. He was watching a YouTube thing about that. And one of the commercials that came up was the Starbucks, you can now ask for protein in any of your drinks. And I'm like, okay, what kind of protein is it? How many grams of protein is it? Like they're once again selling protein. And I'm like, and I can't even sell a freaking shake that's clean, like because, well, Starbucks is doing it. So getting people to eat real protein is such a struggle. I'm like, you gotta go eat a cow. Like seriously, just go do it.
I think people are so far removed. They're not cooking in their kitchens. And then they have in their mind that I ate an apple today, so I didn't do something healthy. Or I'm eating protein bars and, Costco beef sticks, which I have told people recently, I'm like, if you're realizing like that is your protein source, one, you might not want to slow down your life a little bit so that you can like fuel with good fuel. But the protein sources, like, no wonder they're not feeling good. Their hormones are wacky because they're not actually eating like animal protein that's well sourced. And just like what that looks like. That's the one thing with the nutrition group and different people I've chatted with. I'm like, it's not like it doesn't, and this is what my friend Margaret said. She's like, honestly, it doesn't take longer to prep. Like if you're making multi-step casseroles or soups or just different things, like it's just a shift. So you're making, protein or multiple options for protein ahead of time. So you have it in the fridge ready to grab. And then, whatever your veggies, like more veggies.
Well, the one thing I learned when I started carnivore is that the more protein you eat, like the less you eat. So like
Right.
they always used to say that, and I still hear it, like eat so much protein that you're like, if I eat another piece of beef, I'm gonna barf. Like I could not even think about eating another piece of steak. But I'm telling you, when I eat a big chunk of butter and I eat like a 16-ounce steak, like I can eat once a day. And it's not because I'm trying not to eat. It's because I'm not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
I
hungry.
don't think people understand what it feels like to feel satiated. And also, when you're eating like that, you're not feeding the weird stuff in your gut. It's actually starving it. And so then your own hunger cues are like normalized. You're not like carb fueling and then also feeding yeast. And like I remember feeling so like I would be hungry after I ate. And I was like, is this in my brain or like what? But I think there was just some weird well, I have had infections in my gut for whatever reason. I think COVID and probably travel. I tested really high for spike proteins. I mean, the muscle testing guy may have been totally wacky, but it also wouldn't surprise me because of all the travel that we've done since 2020. And so I do think, I mean, that I totally agree, and I'm noticing that myself. Like I eat a really big breakfast with a lot of protein. I don't check how much protein it is,
Yeah, me
and a lot
neither.
of fat. But
Mhm.
like I'm noticing like I'm not really hungry for lunch. And I'm like, am I eating lunch out of habit? Like, why am I eating? I'm not even hungry. So I have experienced that too, Angie.
And if you go back to like back in the day, way back when, like my grandparents, they didn't eat 3 meals a day.
Right.
Like they would basically eat like brunch and then they would eat dinner because they were
Hmm.
like eating 3 times a day. Like people would eat when the sun came out and right before the sun went down. Like they weren't eating all the time. And so we just get in those habits of like sneaky snack or whatever. And for me, like if I cheat with something, all of a sudden it's on my taste buds again because it was like my birthday. So on Saturday, I came home. My grandkids were having a surprise party for me. I didn't know. Well, obviously, it was a surprise. And they had a cheesecake. And so I literally took a sliver, and I'm talking about a sliver. And that night, I was like, I want something else that's like sweet. You know? I'm like, I gotta eat meat to get this off my taste buds.
Yeah. The more you have it, the more you crave it. I really do think that's a thing. What was the other thing I was going to say? We were just talking about, maybe I'll come back.
Well,
Eating once a day. Oh, eating once a day. That's the other thing is people are eating 3 times a day, but their breakfast is like donut and orange juice, and then their lunch is like a cheeseburger and fries. So it's like think of how many carbs and seed oils people are getting. Like it's so bad.
I was going to piggyback off the butter comment because people are not cooking in real butter. They're cooking in all sorts of oils and like get your Irish butter and put it on your pan and cook in that. Like, I don't know what's so hard about that. But so many people, when I say, yeah, we use a lot of Irish butter, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, it's just real butter. Like it's at every store. It's not hard to find. They look at you like they've never heard of it because they're using country crock or whatever, vegetable spread they can find. And even that shift alone is huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the
But
concept that it's okay to eat butter, like on your burger or with your venison, or like it's so satisfying
it
too.
is,
Like it's delicious
we love butter.
and
But
good for
oh,
kidney beans.
people are like, well, yeah, I have oatmeal because they think that oatmeal is good. Well, no, they're doing the instant packs that are full of sugar, full of carb, like oats are alone or a carb. It's like, you guys, because they're
Yeah.
trying, but they've been sold the lie and trying to like go backwards on that is so hard. I've worked with
Mm-hmm.
tons of, not specifically with Lisa's people, but with Lisa through her people. And like these people just don't get it because no offense, Lisa, but people your age, they were sold the TV dinners, like
Mm-hmm.
the first generation of TV dinners as kids.
I wonder if we could create some sort of little PDF or graphic with food ideas, one ingredient food ideas, because that has been massively helpful doing this like autoimmune protocol,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it needs to be not as stringent and strict as that, but like where we could help people take baby steps so that they're not eating the like packets of oatmeal. And people can change. Like I have seen like my mom counsel people and people changing like the Kraft macaroni and cheese all the time and hot dogs to like actually good sourced food.
Well,
Uh,
that's my functional doctor was very adamant about Like I was to a point where I was cooking separate meals for my kids than I was for me. And she's like, what are you doing? Like they need to be eating the same thing that you're eating. They need these. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? You know, like I so stupid sometimes because I'm like, duh. Like they need the veggies and the meat and
Mhm.
they've adjusted. They don't it took a while, but
It's just
If that's what you're doing.
educating them. And I feel like we have to do it like one little thing at a time.
Mhm.
Like helping people with one, it used to be like, well, let's just get people to drink water.
right.
That's not satisfying enough for people, right? So if we can just get them to make one little switch. And one thing I was going to tell Megan, I'm sure you probably already do this, but one of the things that I've noticed when I do have to eat out, I will ask, do you have butter? And they're like, oh yeah. And then I'm like, can you ask, is it butter or is it not butter? Because
Right.
people who work at those restaurants, they think margarine is butter.
Yeah.
You ask because like I need to know. Because if it's margarine, I'm not eating it.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this is probably the middle-age courage that comes out because like 12 years ago, I was mortified to have to ask, in a restaurant for things. But now anymore, like it's not one, it's not weird. Two, we're paying them to make our food. And I noticed like at Mexican restaurants, like they don't have butter or olive oil. They're using like bad oils. And so, yeah, I don't think it's weird. I mean, I have not gotten, weird things from waitresses or anything like that. They're like, "Oh, sure."
It's my kids that are like, oh great, here's mom asking,
Yeah, they're
"What's
like
this
secondhand
again?"
embarrassment.
Yeah, I have to do that all the time because of my sensitivities. And Doug is fine. Doug will just ask. He doesn't care. But my kids are like, I'm like, I can't have this. We don't do Mexican anymore. I literally
Mhm.
can't do it. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do the oils. Like, I can't do any seed oils. And I try and then I pay for that. Everyone should just like pretend they're allergic to the world for 1 week and read every label. And it won't
Uh-huh.
take you long to know that there is a better side to this. Like, I don't miss things. I don't even miss things
Yeah.
anymore. Like, I'm like, it's not worth it and it's fine.
Yeah. To figure out how they're feeling when they're not on the inflammatory stuff. What
Yeah.
is your symptom when you have had seed oils? Do you mind me asking?
I get hives. Like I'll get hives. Sometimes I get it's like almost anaphylactic a little bit. Like it's
Oh,
weird. It
yikes.
depends on the oil. But I also have the nut allergy. So sometimes there's a trace. So like I cannot eat hardly anything processed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my meals are basically meat, and I've been adding broccoli into the breakfast because I've
Mhm.
been really struggling, and my weight has went up. Like, and I don't know what that is, but I'm really struggling with different areas of trying to find the right foods. And am I combination? Am I not eating enough? And I'm like, and we do the butter thing. I can do avocado oil. I can do olive oil, but the butter's just always there. It's just really hard. It's really, really
Have you
hard.
had a gut map done?
I
Just to
haven't.
see,
I
because
haven't.
I have found that is helpful, just to know exactly what you are reactive towards.
Yeah,
So
I
that you
think
can,
I'm getting to that point. I've gotten better on a few things. A few things have, I think Plexus has reversed some of those things. But, I've also in the process kind of lost the taste for a lot of things. Like I don't have the craving. Like I don't go there. And I'm at that point. I'm like, people are eating that around me and it's okay. We might make a joke and I'm not serious anymore. I don't care. It's fine. Because I've just found what I can substitute with. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm at that point. I probably need to because I've had a few responses to just like I had it happen over the weekend. I've got hives all over I have a rash on my legs. Don't know where that came from. Don't like have an idea maybe, but now we've went into this like things that touch my body will do that too. So it's kind of,
Mhm.
but the food thing I'm narrowing down pretty good. You don't know when you got to eat. That's a big thing
Well, yeah,
without
exactly.
asking. And then
Yep.
they're not going to know, like you
Mhm.
said. Yeah, they're not trained.
Right. Yeah, totally get that. Okay, well, girls, I won't keep you, but I'm
Shoot, we
glad
should
you
have
got
got
to
a
pop
picture
on.
before Brandy hopped off.
Oh, yeah.
Is she still there?
Where'd she
Are you
go?
still? Oh,
There
here
she
we
is.
go. Okay, let's take a picture. All right, 1, 2, 3. Cute. Make sure our eyes are open.
Okay.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I'm all blown. I'm like, ah. Sorry, I'm signing someone up right now, so I had to
Yay.
switch over to my other screen.
If you have old people that are restarting, Brandy, I can clear them out really fast.
This one's a new one that I've been talking to since I first started selling. So
Hooray.
it's about
Yay.
Yes.
My people should be here in like 10 minutes, so I got to go to the bathroom and get ready. So,
Okay. See you,
bye,
girls.
girls.
Great to chat with you. Bye.